In this example, we want to talk about Angela throwing a suitcase from the top of a 200-foot building at an initial velocity of 30 feet per second. So the initial height of the suitcase is 200 feet. The initial velocity, they give us that 30 feet per second. And the acceleration of the suitcase, remember you have to pay attention to the fact that the units given are feet, not meters. So that means that we're looking at negative 32 feet per second squared. And now we need to put all of this information into our formula, which we know h of t equals 1/2 times the acceleration times t squared plus v naught, our initial velocity, times time, and then plus h naught, our initial height. So the equation in this situation, we would have h of t equals 1/2 times that negative 32. We're going to get negative 16t squared plus the initial velocity, 30 times t, plus that initial height of 200. So this is our equation. What is the height of the suitcase after 4 seconds? Show your work. So in this case, we are looking to evaluate our function h at 4 seconds. So that means you're just plugging in 4 anywhere that you see a t. So negative 16 times 4 squared plus 30 times 4 plus 200. And you would type this all in your calculator, paying specific attention to order of operations, and you should get 64 feet. When does the suitcase hit the ground? Show work and round to the nearest tenth. So when it hits the ground, that means our height is 0. So we are setting this equation equal to 0. So 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 30t plus 200. Here we need to solve this, and remember you have 5 different methods. In this case, I think using the quadratic formula is a great way to do it. So we would say that our time is equal to the opposite of b, so negative 30, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times negative 16 times 200. All of that divided by 2 times a, so 2 times negative 16. So just so that you can check your work, I'll show you that for my discriminant, I get 13,700. So you should have gotten that as well. And when you go through, type this in your calculator, you get a negative 2.72 and a positive 4.6. Well, negative time isn't going to make sense, so really 4.6 seconds is the answer that we are looking for. What is the maximum height of the suitcase? After how many seconds does the suitcase reach this maximum height? Again, show work. In this case, we are looking to find the x and y coordinates of the vertex. So the first thing we need to do is find the x coordinate, and remember that the x coordinate is going to give you that time. So it's the time when you reach that maximum height. So in this case, you have to do the opposite of b over 2a. So in this problem, that's negative 30 divided by 2 times negative 16. So negative 30 divided by negative 32 is point, and we're going to use all those decimals, 0.9375 seconds. So this is the time. So we're actually answering after how many seconds? We're answering that part first. So 0.9375 seconds. To figure out what is the maximum height, we're going to actually plug that in. So we evaluate h at 0.9375. And when you plug that in, you get 214.0625 feet. Okay, so if you need help, check with one another, help each other out, make sure that you guys all understand what's going on there, and then you can move into the next activity.